Okay.
Oh.
I'm starting a record right now.
Okay.
Quick question. Do you want us to, have maybe some kind of Google Drive where we have everything on there, so if anybody wants to go reference it, they can?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
And share the information. Yeah. Okay. So I guess for the recording right now, where the Splunk has been downloaded onto the SSH and EC2 and connected with the EC2 instance, and now we are moving it and use. So what is this sudo command? What is it? What is it doing?
Sudo space su. So space and then su.
So it's just elevating your privilege. You're right. You're changing to a root user.
Okay. And
like,
so
you know how in Splunk you have admin, you have power and the different users. So admin user has all the rights. You can do anything.
Okay.
So that's the same with root user. You can do anything. So it gave you that permission denied because it thinks you are not the owner of the file as the EC2 user. So that's why you should do it as a root user.
Gotcha. Okay. So and then sudo su and then enter. Okay.
Yep.
Now do what you were trying to do.
See there it says root right away.
Okay. So mv sp and slash opt.
Okay, LS.
Yeah, so it's there.
So why do you have to do MV? You're moving it from. Do you really have to do the move?
Yeah, we're moving it to the OPT directory, so that's where we want to untar the Splunk. Yeah. So yeah, so right now it's being moved there. It's already in the OPT because if you see when you do LS, nothing is in user right now. So
but I've done it before without using the move. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just they say Splunk likes to live in OPT. Yeah, you can untie it anywhere. It's just I think the best practice or what.
Yeah, and that's the most. Papa, it probably depends on the link that the get link that you use. Was it a tar one? Do you remember if it was RPM or DEB or DEB?
It was
TGZ.
TGZ.
Yeah, TGZ.
Really? And you didn't have to move it?
This is the TGZ.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the best solution is to move it to OPT. That's what I've seen, like everybody do, I think.
Okay. Right. All right. So Nate, what's the next step from here? Is
CD to OPT. So do CD. You change directory to OPT. So do CD space /OPT.
Okay, so now we're in OPT.
Yep, and do LS now. You should find it there.
Okay.
Yep, so it's there now in the OPT. So yeah, we can then install it now. So do tar TAR space minus XV ZF space the name of the file. Do SP now for the name of the file. Yep, and then enter. Yep, so it's on tar in that.
Okay. So the tar command is basically unzipping this software onto our instance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said the tar command is what? Can you repeat that? Sorry.
It's like unzipping, like how you unzip in Windows. So it is called on tar. So you're just like it is in a package. So you're just opening that package for all the different files to then have their different locations and be accessible.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So now if you do LS again, you should see Splunk now. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
So we can set it to Splunk now.
And
enter.
Yep. Then yep. We can cd to bin, and yes, you can do ls again.
I was gonna show him something. That's why. So you see how they have all of the different files or directories that are in blue, right?
Yeah.
So the one that says bin, that's where you're gonna do most of. And correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I do. That's where you're gonna do majority of your installations, right?
Okay.
It's be done in bin for the most part. The other ones, what do you call it? Your etc. I think the main one that I've seen used a lot is like the etc and the lib. Those ones are for like other stuff. But anytime you really want to install something like vi, what do you call it? What's that thing called? Remind me what it's called, Saidu. When you want to vi into a file, what's the name of that thing that you install?
The vi command, that's
It's called something when you want to monitor. There's a name. Baby, do you remember?
VI helps you to edit.
There's something.
If you want to monitor a file.
Yeah, but there's a name. There's a name they call it. Is it called a VI monitor? It's something monitor or editor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, VI is an editor.
Is it called a VI editor? Is that what it's called? Okay, I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now go ahead and do cd bin.
So yeah, on like AB is saying, the bin directory is where all your executables are. Like anything you want to run, start Splunk, stop it, do any like if you're trying to execute anything, it is in bin. So that's where you have to go.
Okay.
etc is where you have your like apps. Under etc, you have your apps, you have your different directories, local system.
The lib is the lib to like the library to where everything is like all the readable information is stored, or I'm just taking a wild guess on that.
Yeah, we can go to it and then see what is in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what are we doing in bin? Are we just LSing and seeing what's in here, or?
Oh no, you want to remember how we talked about bin is where you do most of your installations and executions.
Yeah.
So right now, the whole thing that you've done is you've downloaded Splunk into an instance.
Okay.
Then you untied it, right? So now you've opened the package. So now you need to actually install it into this specific instance. So there's a command that you need to do. So you're going to do, it's been a long time, period Splunk /.
Yeah. Period /.
Uh-huh.
Go back. Yeah. It's period / Splunk.
/Splunk, that's what it is.
/ Splunk, space, start. You just start in Splunk now.
No, he should let him start with to accept the license.
Yeah, so, he hasn't gone there yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so should I do the start or?
Hey guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you do start, you would ask you to accept license, and you accept it.
Okay.
You see how it's going? If you do start dash accept dash license.
Do Q, you will not ask to do Q. Yeah, and
yes.
Yeah, and and then create a username, and you can do admin. Most times people do just do admin there. Yeah, password. You want you to confirm it. Yeah, it's starting Splunk. So yeah, I think what Papa you are saying is to like when you're starting it to accept the license to do it, so he will not ask you for that, right?
Exactly. So if you do dash accept dash license, then it will take it. You wouldn't have to go through accept. So the queue you did you quit? accepting the license or?
Yeah, it's just you telling it. No, you didn't quit. You telling it. I read everything. Just
Okay.
you don't have to go through enter to read
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
You would just
Write
go
that
to the
down, 'cause I
bottom of
didn't
the
know
line.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Let me write that down. So is it like, does it matter? Is it a small letter or a capital letter? Does it matter what the Q is?
Oh, the
I think it's lowercase.
just Q. Yeah, just Q.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just Q.
I did not know that. Let me write that down in my notes.
Lowercase q will
No,
accept.
even me, Abby, I just learned from you that SP. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me too.
SP is something new to me today. Yep. So that's why it's good to to hook up here. Like
Yeah, learn from each other.
Okay. All right. So now, what's the next step from here?
So now you need to.
So you can do again now Splunk and status just to show it is started. So Splunk is started now.
You said so. Do Splunk status.
No, go, you always have to do the period. Always going to do the period /.
Okay. Okay. Period / Splunk. And then status or enter.
I think, isn't it both? Okay. Wow, Abby. I'm a bit confused on something.
Yeah, status just to
Shouldn't it be
show that
boot
it's running.
Okay.
You see the
So
hyperlink?
yeah, so Splunk is
hyperlink,
running now. You're good. You install Splunk. Everything is good right now.
the hyperlink above, if you copy it and paste, I think it should run the instance, right? Or what?
So if I copy and paste it into my web browser, it's gonna run the instance on my web browser.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, that's a link.
It would not.
It will not?
That's not. Let's try it. Let's try and see.
Oh yeah, it
I
won't
think-
run because there's
let's try it.
things you need to do, but it might. Yeah.
Yeah. Thing, yeah.
So question though.
But let's go try it and see.
At what point are we doing the boot enable portion of it, right? Is that just so, because at what portion does that come in? Yeah, it was not gonna work.
If you want to enable, if you want that anytime you start up your instance, your EC2 instance, if you want Splunk to start also, that's when you do enable boot start.
So
we can do it right now. Yeah.
Best practice from what you know from your experience with working with SAR. Do you guys ever enable boot start, or you usually just start just to know? I mean,
well, I've not gotten with SAR. I don't do a lot of backend. I've never gotten any tags that ask me to install Splunk.
Okay.
It's just me playing with it. It's already maybe a Splunk that is running already. I will go into it and check.
And just check.
So, but I know for just that is the best practice. You want to, every time your EC2 instance starts up and running, you want Splunk also to start. You don't want to every time you have to go in and manually turn it on. Yeah.
So what you're gonna do at this point, Chooks, is there's something called enable boot start, kind of like what Saidu just said. So that way, each time you come back into this instance, all you have to do is just go to bin and then just do the Splunk period / start, and then you should be good to go. So right now, do the period.
Oh, meaning he doesn't have to do that.
Oh, right.
So he doesn't have to do the start.
I think he has done it already, right?
No, Papa, what he's saying, what AB is saying is for subsequent times when he maybe stops his EC2 instance and started again. If he didn't enable boot start, he has to come and do that period Splunk start every time. So if you don't want to do that, you just enable boot start. So when the machine starts, your virtual machine starts, it goes ahead and starts Splunk. So it is running right away.
So do the period / Splunk. And then space enable. And then space boots, BOOT dash, no, go back, dash start.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't done this in so long, man. It's been a minute. Okay.
Okay, so now whenever I connect my start my EC2 instance, my Splunk is gonna start automatically.
Ideally, that's what it's supposed to do.
Well, I can just check the status I can just use the Splunk status command to make
Yeah,
sure.
to check it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now go to your AWS cloud stuff. Go to your console. Let me write that down before I forget. You can
Hey
use-
guys, whilst he's doing this, man, AWS charged me $144, man. I messed up. I had like
Oh.
5 instances running. I forgot to stop them over almost a month.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no.
I was so angry at myself. I forgot.
Oh no. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Man. Always turn off your instance, guys.
Yeah,
I have that
stop
problem
them.
too. I
Stop
always
them.
forget to turn it off. So
Mhm.
always stop it when you're done for the day. Just take that 2 seconds. to Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So when you said rename it, what were you talking about? Isn't that you already renamed it? It says Juke Instance on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
oh,
didn't
okay.
have
I
to
didn't-
rename it. It's
I wasn't
moving
sure.
it.
I wasn't sure
I
if it
think
was
moving,
something else.
that's what he meant.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess I'm the homework's complete for me. So.
Okay. Do you want to?
So yeah, we open AWS here now, and you want to go see that you can log into Splunk. So open AWS and copy the
Yeah.
IP
Let's
address.
finish through with it on the video so anyone else can go back and use it to do theirs.
Okay.
So-
So
You want to open your there was an IP.
Yeah, just click on that. Click there,
Perfect. Okay.
and the
So
IP
look at
address.
the
I think
public,
right
the
there.
public IP address. No. Go back. You want to copy it because you have to put a port. No,
You see
just-
next to the IP address there, you can copy it from there. No, just before the right there. Mhm.
okay.
Okay. Now
And then
Now where am I going?
open a new
open a
tab.
new tab.
Okay. And then what? Just
Colon 8,000.
you said colon 8,000.
Yeah, right behind that. Yeah, and then 8,000.
How do you have to do the colon 8,000?
Say to go ahead and explain.
Sorry, you meant me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do first HTTP before the IP address.
Okay.
Yeah, colon //
You said colon.
Yeah, and then so enter now.
I think he asked the 8,000. That's like I think the local.
So
host.
it's a port. It's kind of like it's like the yeah. It's more
Oh,
like
someone was asking the I didn't get my internet is I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll explain that. That's fine. So pretty much what the port, there are different ports that you use in Splunk, right? So when you want to access, like if you want to access Splunk web, the port to use is 8,000.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just the web port.
It's just a web
That's
port.
all. It's simple. It's just the web port.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I didn't know you have to put HTTP in the front. I've never done that with that. I'm surprised. Is that?
Okay. Yeah, maybe it would work without the HTTP. But,
Yeah, I've never had. Yeah, I've usually just like copy the IP address in 8,000 and it would work. I didn't know that. Maybe that's
Okay.
the new thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it will be the same. You know, sometimes it just adds that for you.
Okay, it's not gonna work. I know why. Go back to your your instance.
Mhm.
Okay, we need to go check your so go down, looking for the
Security group.
inbound. Yeah, go to your security group. Keep going. Yeah, security. Okay. So yours says all. All ports, all that's open. TCP port. What is wrong? What is wrong? Go.
Just go edit it.
Yeah, that's what.
Scroll down. Okay, yeah, you can click on that and click on the security group there. And then yeah, edit inbound rules. So yeah, just add a rule there.
Yeah, that's really good. So
Let's
change that one
just
to
do,
all traffic.
yeah. So and then just do, yeah,
Perfect.
all traffic, yeah. Mhm.
Then save it.
No, it's
Yep.
not done yet. It's not done yet. Doesn't he have to put something at that custom portion? Isn't that the 0.0? Isn't that
So click on
yeah.
that, click on there. Yeah,
that
and
one?
then
There you go. Now save it.
enter. I think you need also the okay, right now it's HTTP. It would need, yeah. Let's go try again.
Now try again. There you go. Awesome.
All right. All right, Splunk.
So now
Yeah.
you can log in with your that username and password. Yeah. Yay. Good teamwork, guys.
Nice. I got a question. For that, what was it called again? The enable thing we did last. So
Okay.
yeah, if I already started mine without doing the enable, how can I go back and do it? So anytime.
Yeah, you can always go back as long as you can go into bin.
Okay.
You can do it anytime. Yeah, you can just go back into bin and then just do the command /Splunk space and it will space would start.
Okay.
I have a I don't know if you guys want this, but I have a, and I said I don't know if you have it, if you can share it, but I have a little cheat sheet that kind of shows those commands if you guys want it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, post it.
I just have to remember where it is, but yeah, I'll find it and I'll send it to the group.
Do we already have a Google Drive for the group or no?
No,
Yeah, if someone can create one for us, or
yeah.
Okay.
Anybody who feels the need to do that, please go ahead. And then that person can just do the recordings. That way they can just upload it. It'll be easier. Anybody want to volunteer?
people don't like to volunteer, huh?
Okay.
Give it to you, Evie.
No, Charlie. If I could, I would. You know, I would.
You're the boss. You're the boss. We give it to you.
If I could, you know,
Manage
I haven't even sent you the one I did, right? The one that we did from the session. I'm not the greatest when it comes to stuff like this. So I don't know if you guys want to trust me or any information.
Yeah, me too. I forget too much, man. I forget. That's my issue.
If anybody decides they want to, just let us know.
Yeah, Papa, you're there.
Papa has left the chat.
Oh,
I'm here, guys.
Papa, do you want to help us create a Google Drive where we can put all of the recorded sessions on there for anyone to access?
No worries. I'll create one in my own account and give you guys access.
You're the best. Thank you.
No
Papa the
worries.
great.
Thank you.
Welcome, Papa.
Okay, so I guess since that's done, is there anything else besides or
I mean, you're pretty much ahead of the homework. So,
yeah.
And this video should help anybody else out who wants to do it tonight. So I think that's pretty much it for.
Yeah. Yeah, the homework. The homework said just on tight.
Well, he did say
download it.
Before he backtracked, he was saying to create a search head. I don't know if we wanted
That's
to
what
try.
you just did. That's a search head.
Okay.
Yeah. So how you know it's a search head? Go back to the one. This is your old one. This isn't the new one. Because that says administrator. So this is your old Splunk stuff. Yeah, this is not the right, because that's not your username. So go to the one that you just made. This isn't it. It can't be this. Is it this?
I think it is.
Are you sure? Okay, click on that. Click on the administrator thing. Let me see. This is okay. Fine. Click on that red. Let me see why
this is one you just opened, huh?
It says Splunk D. What is wrong?
Yeah, I think it says administrator because he's the owner. Yeah. Is
Okay, let's fix this for you. Go to settings. So this is just saying that you're you don't have enough space. So go to where it says server settings.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it worked. Probably do it again. And you're sure this is the new one?
Yeah, because the one I have on my Mac that I did for fundamentals 1 is a different password than this
Okay.
one just logged
So
into.
the IP address is 31. Okay, maybe. Okay. Go to
Yeah.
where it says general settings.
Mhm.
So this, in case this happens to anybody else, this is what you do. If it's a space thing.
Okay.
Okay, keep going down. Look for where you see 5,000. You see where it says pause, and just so change that to take away 2 zeros and leave it as 50. And then save.
And what is this doing, AB?
So pretty much the way I understand it, again, correct me if I'm wrong, say do and anybody else. The way I understand it is based on the amount of, because you know how Splunk works. Splunk works based on the amount of data you're able to ingest, right? You're able to parse or into the, so pretty much what it's saying is that you have the limit set as 5,000 MB. You obviously want more space. So you're saying, what you're saying pretty much is I think you're increasing it. I don't really know. That's something I should look more into. All I know is that when it shows you that, it talks about space. So what you want to do, sorry, go back, we're not done yet. So anytime you change anything in your search head or in the UI, you have to restart Splunk again. So go to, no, not there. Go back to settings. Sorry, Stephen, give me a second. Go to where it says server controls.
Okay.
And then you're gonna restart it. By the time you restart it and go back, it should be taken. So anytime you make a big change in Splunk, you always have to restart.
Okay.
Stuff, yeah. But anyway, so the way I remember it, and say do help me here if you know. So just restart Splunk. Yeah, is that it has to do with the space, right? So remember how you said talk about the disk space. So usually there is an you go and you change that limit from 5,000 to 50. So I guess what it's saying is like even anything after 50, take more files. I'm probably not explaining it the best way. That I remember like learning this, but I can't tell you verbatim, but I know it has to do with like disk space and creating more space. That way you can do more in Splunk. That's how I remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new to me also. Okay.
Oh, really? Okay. So if you log back in now, you see it's gonna be gone. You have as much space as you need. What? I can't say you do something? I can't believe it.
Come on, Abby, you are more knowledgeable than me, like 100%. I'm telling you. I know that. I know that.
Let me see. It shouldn't say that. It should be fixed. There we go. Okay.
Well, still, it's
You didn't do something right. Go back to, click on it again. Let's see what it's saying. Go back to the administrator. Splunk D, red. Now we're talking about your resource usage, IOA weights. Okay, this feature. Because now you see because there was 2 reds. Now that one, the space one is taken care of. Now this one, I don't know. So it's a few tests of your issues and negatively impacting the functionality of your deployment. See the details. It says see root cause. For details, see root cause. Help report is disabled for this feature. Now this one, I'm not sure. I took care of the space issue. I don't know. I don't know what this one is. I'm sorry.
I mean, maybe it's just because we chose the lowest instance. So maybe that's just that.
It was there though before.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Are you sure? And you're sure this is the same one?
This is the new,
yeah. Just for my curiosity, can you just check your IP address?
Against the,
just to make sure, because
3. Yeah, let's go to your AWS.
Go to the top and then just click on where it says instance. Yeah, that says new.
I think it's the same. That's how mine is too.
I just want to make. Why do you have two?
I had to when I
Oh, okay.
in
Okay.
in our first class I followed along while he was doing it and then created one, and then I created a new one when I was leading last
It is
class.
the same. It is the same IP address. Weird. Yeah, that's definitely a SAR question. Someone should write that down and ask him. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a question. Yeah, because I know about the space one. Anytime it tells you anything about Dick's space, if you ever get that, which most of you will get that when you make an instance, just do what I just told you. That takes care of it. The IO wait one, I don't know why, but I'm gonna look into it while like you guys are doing class. I'll see if I can figure out the answer, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Saidu, this is where we want to talk about rules and regulations and how we want to proceed, right?
Yeah, so we don't have any other help that anybody else need. We are good.
I'll go ahead and stop sharing.
Okay. Someone just joined us. Who was the eighth person? Someone just came in. Oh, Uncle Obi. Okay.
Yes. Abby,
Hey, Uncle. How are you?
good. I didn't know you guys were starting today.
Oh, we posted it on the group
Ah,
today. Yeah. Sorry. Maybe next time I'll just send a message. We're about to
yeah.
start. So
I
that way.
was just talking through. I was just while I'm talking with some other people, I just said, let me see. And I just discovered it was on.
Oh, sorry. Did you
Yeah.
need any help, Uncle, with anything?
I will, but I don't know whether it's
Okay. So what we did right now is this video that we're doing, we're recording it. So we're
okay.
gonna make it available. I think it's gonna answer the question you have, at least in regards to it going.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll help you.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so at least all of us are on the same page. We are good with at least what SAR's assignment is.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any
assignment? Everyone is good.
Good.
All right, great.
You know what? I just did what you said.
Okay, well,
Before.
sorry, go ahead, Abby.
So yeah, I had 4 reds on my screen, and I just did what AB showed us, and it's down to 1. So I was like, "Shit, let's go."
I'm gonna look into that IO wait thing right now. Shooks, can you look? It says IO wait, right? That's what it says. Can you confirm for me? So while like Sadie's talking about the rules and regulation, I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to resolve that one.
Let me see. Yeah, it says IO wait.
It's not just I do that we're talking about rules, it's all of us. It's all of us.
Yeah, it says IO wait. So
okay, so you got it, Abby?
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna look into it right now.
Okay.
Quick question. Is your name Chooks or Chucks? Which one is
Chooks? It's Chooks. Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I wanted us to talk about is just, because we are all we could be doing something else with this time, but we are giving that time to meet here and help each other. We want that to be really efficient and fruitful for us, so we can achieve the maximum benefit out of this. So I don't know, suggestions on what we think this class, how we are gonna run it, so that it would be really helpful for us. I can give our experiences, what we did from our last session, and then we can then open the floor for suggestions on what we can maybe change with that, or what we can add, to make it better. So with the last, with our last session, because we did the front-end class with SAR, So most of us in that class, we engaged each other like we are doing right now. One thing that we were doing apart from just, working on like assignments that SAR gives us, or like helping each other on whatever we don't understand with the class, we registered for the fundamentals 2, because fundamentals 1 was free, so everybody got that down. We registered for fundamentals 2. We went through fundamentals 1 and tried to revise this and make sure everybody was in the same page. We then registered with fundamentals 2 and then went through it again, tried to, go through the labs, because, they have the videos and the labs. We would do a way where everybody would, have a chance to get access to because the fundamentals 2, you get it for like or whatever the Splunk courses, you get it for 30 days. So when we registered for it, we give access to everybody so they can capture it. Okay, I'm not sure if I should say this.
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay.
We can talk
All right.
about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. So, and we would have that material. We just help each other, go through the labs, and everybody have the access to the videos individually, like try to look at them, and we'll come again to the class and work on the labs, answer whatever questions we can. That's why we're here, all of us. There is nobody that knows more than the other person. We just try to help each other. So that's how we're going it, like side by side. We do SAS class and then also do the fundamentals. So if we can do that with this session also, because we're doing backend, and backend is the most related to admin. So if we are able to register for the admin course, and then do the backend at the same time, and by the end of this class, if we were able to get our admin certification, that would be I think a really achievement, that we just don't, we know the concept, we can talk about them, we can execute the codes and all, and we have on top of that a certification that can help us, if you already have a strong job, to maybe gain promotion or whatever, and be really confident and proud of yourself. So that is the format of our last class. So I don't know if we want to adopt that into this one, or what we think. Let's discuss.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I know that, and this is just an idea, okay? And then everyone please refute if you feel it's not gonna work. So I know that this backend class for you guys right now is for 3 months, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so do you guys want to, I don't know, maybe when you have a month in, right? Because then a month in, you would feel, I don't know, a lot more comfortable with some stuff. Because I noticed the issue that you guys had with the last one was you were not able to complete it. There was 14 modules, you got to 5, right? And I think it's because there was just so much going on for everybody. So do you guys want to wait maybe like 2 months in and then see? I mean, maybe if you guys want to do like little contributions until the time, right? And then when the time comes, maybe like a month before class is done, just use that as like an extra booster, because that time everyone is like really comfortable. So that way you don't feel like you're juggling learning this whole thing and SARS class and doing the homework and then juggling a whole different session again. It might be a lot, but when everyone feels maybe comfortable and be 2 months in, then they can handle figuring out the best way to, execute. That way everyone can actually finish the entire thing. I don't know if that is an option, just that I, throw that out there if you guys want to consider that.
Yeah, I just want to add to that too. And also, if you think about it, probably it's not going to be everybody that joined this class is going to end it. So if we start now, referring to like everybody contributing, what if some people still don't end the class with us? Are they still going to contribute to? They might not be, they might not want to. So should we wait to see the actual number? Then just like Abby said, then go from there and divide the actual funds to each person. That's just my suggestion.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But let's just hear from the other people.
Hello, hi here. This is Papa. So the last class I know, like Abi said, we couldn't finish the labs as a group, right? But then we were able to capture, each person was able to capture the videos.
Papa.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's been recorded.
Okay, sorry. So we're able to at least have the opportunity to, look a little deeper in that course. And most of the videos that we watched also helped in the preparation of the exam, and even though we were not able to consume the whole content before the 30 days, I believe that is not going to be how our approach will be in subsequent classes or programs, but that will rather give us the opportunity to challenge ourselves and make good use of our time during the process, So I don't think waiting is good, but then I think that it's an opportunity for us to, get that and then be serious about it, because I mean, as I believe our previous experience is rather a lesson for us to make good use of whatever we have. Don't slack like the previous times. And there is no need to mention names, but it looks like the previous group, there were people who are already in the field, and even though they were part of the group, it wasn't like it was something they needed. They already passed that level. And so there were times they were not ready to come to class, to join the session, So I believe that the earlier we get it and spend time to be able to go and, like Sedu said previously, so you can be ahead of the class. You'll be able to see certain things before Sir will teach them, because previously there were things that when we met and Sir was talking, it was over our heads. You didn't understand some of the things, So that's my suggestion. I don't know if I made sense.
Okay. Yeah, let's get please opinions, please.
Hello guys.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I quite agree with Papa and agree with Abby at the same time. We all have different schedules, so I want to go. We can go on the same pace. To be honest, one thing I like to do is personally, I like to get the course overview, so I can always go and do my own thing. So when we come together like this, we can all share ideas and probably, read ahead before start. So personally, I like to keep it open and let's all move on. Even if we can't move on the same pace, but we can all come together and share ideas.
Okay.
I think he's driving, so the service is not that great.
I didn't get that. Did you say something?
Yeah, we lost you for a second there. So I was saying that probably the place you were driving past was bad service.
Oh, I'm sorry. So guys, I'm driving. So my apologies. So I was saying, I like for us to keep it open, because I feel like if we all come together and register for the course, so probably we restrict some people, and we all have our different schedules, and we can all go on the same pace, to be honest. So I think it will be fair to keep it open. You can always get the course overview. I think SAR already sent it. We can always look into the course overview and study ahead. There are materials on the internet. You can check YouTube, and we can always, share materials. If you come across something that might be of value to everybody, you can send it to the group. So that's how I see it. My
Okay,
opinion.
so quick, if I understand what you are talking about is we don't need the fundamentals, right?
I don't
We
think
don't need to register for that course. That's what the point you're making.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the floor is still open for whatever we think.
So from what I understand is we're trying to determine if we should start this now or like a couple months down the line to where maybe some of us have more of an understanding of like the base knowledge, and so that we're able to handle both SARS class and the other, trying to get our certification. That's what we're trying to decide, correct?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. Just for me, I'm thinking that maybe start it a little later, just so that everyone can just get the base understanding. And like you were saying before, that we know, who's really in this and who's, not really in it as much, and who's, willing to contribute and all that type of thing. So that's my opinion.
Okay.
Sedu, let's hear from you. I really want to hear your thoughts on what you think.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we decide here is okay with me. I think the idea, like you guys are saying, it makes sense to to really first of all understand a little bit, maybe like you said, a month into the class. So by then we have we are not in the introduction, because right now we're just in introductory aspect with SAR. By then, some of the things, when they explain it with the videos, it will be easier to understand. And because with that, it's not just preparing you, it's not just you getting the concept, it's you again, is enabling you to be able to pass the certification, the exam, because it gives you, that I know what helped me with my power exam, that PDF. I went through it and read everything. That helped me a lot. So you getting the the detail, everything about like the course, it helps you. So yeah, if we are into the course a little bit, and then get that as a backup, it would make sense. Because right now, that's true. If we start that right now and we're just starting, we don't know, and a lot of us are like working, like me, 2 jobs. It will be a lot to juggle around. So yeah, and the plan is for us, by the time we finish this class, to take the exam, right, to be admin certified. So we still have time, and that is like 30 days access. So we can wait a little bit. We can come here for now. For now, what we can do to maybe make this class, make these sessions really helpful, that we don't just come maybe and talk about one thing. We can, like what Chooks was saying, I don't know who was saying, that we can, like, we have the class overview for SAR already. We can plan ourselves here and say, okay, this is what we want to work on next class. Let's go and find out how this is done. For example, we now install Splunk. Maybe we want to work on a cluster. Let's say how to build a Sachet cluster. Let's go and find out about that. Everybody go do their research. we come together and then work on that. So that way, maybe we can even do something before Sarah gets there. When we do something before Sarah gets there, we would have like questions to ask him that would make sense to us. Like, you know, and you do something, you get stuck, you are not able maybe to crack something, even if you crack it, but you have some questions that are not clear, you can then, when he is doing it, you can ask him, you know, more technical questions that will then clarify your doubts. So until we maybe start the that class or register for the course, we can do it that way. Give ourselves a task that for next class we have to go do a little research about this, and we'll then come and talk about it in the class, you know, so that we just, I know sometimes we don't have much. If we just say we're just coming here every time to talk about what happens in class, sometimes people will be okay with like the information that is given. They will not need to come. So we don't want it to be that way. We want this class to be helpful every time we come. We should learn new things and you know, enrich ourselves with like, it should be efficient and beneficial to all of us. That's I think my point.
Just to add to that, if this will help you guys, let me know. I do have the PDF for admin. So if you wanted it to be a situation where we go through the questions, maybe we say the first 5 and we go figure out why the answer is the answer, and then we come and we teach ourselves. Because it's literally the PDF. So it's just a matter of trying to understand why the answer is the answer. That's another option too. If you guys want that option, let me know. I will forward the PDF to the group and we can figure out how to use that as a way of studying for the exam by trying to figure out why the questions or the answers are the answers. Just that I give that option too as well.
Maybe right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so from my experience, from the little I know, I feel Splunk backend is based on Linux. So, and I know a lot of us don't. For me, I'm not really good with Linux. So, and I think it's a lot. It will make backend a lot easier for us to learn if we have a basic knowledge of Linux. So I probably would suggest, like, it's just a suggestion. Personally, if we can look into learning Linux together, and you know, I don't know, who knows when we'll get when we'll go can get what he's saying and all the commands, his movement, file path, and everything. We can quickly get it and understand what he's talking about. But if we don't know Linux, I think it will be a lot difficult for us to like get most of all these things going on the back end. My opinion, though.
Yeah, I think that's a great a good point. But the question is, will Sir be teaching Linux in addition to the topics he'll be teaching for the backend?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, so if he's not going to teach it, if he's not going to teach it, then if you want to learn Linux, then that is going to be a whole course on its own. I think the back end, you need some Linux skills, but I don't think you need to be even intermediate knowledge. I think you need some basic Linux commands. I might be corrected on that. You know, like what we did, what Chooks was doing to install like sudo su and how to do a CD into a different directory and all those kind of basic stuff. And I'm not sure, but I believe the admin class, they will definitely mention some of those things in there. So, but the idea of looking into Splunk, into Linux itself, will be like taking a whole new class.
I think the easier way we can talk about that is, say, if we think maybe these commands, we can say a class one, like a session. We say next session, we're gonna talk about Linux commands. Let's go study Linux commands and come talk about that. But if we say we have to go and like do a whole Linux course, people like will see that as like, you know, diverting from what we are doing. But we can, yeah, try to say improve our Linux skills. Let's go study Linux commands and then come. This session is all about just, you know, understanding Linux commands so that we can be on the same page. Whatever you don't know, look at Epic just taught me SP, right? So yeah, that's a way we can do that. And Abby, my response to what you were saying, I think right now it's early for us to start looking at the questions and answers for, you know, the admin exam. If we can get the PDF, for me, it
Yeah,
would
she
just
said, I think she said PDF.
yeah, it would just be reading it so that it makes me understand the concept, like the stuff.
Yeah, that's why I meant it. I didn't mean it for us to study for the exam. I meant it more so because I mean the whole my logic was like, okay, so at least until we decide to maybe do the admin thing, if we're going to, which by the way, I just did a quick math. I think the admin course is $1,000 and there's 11 of us right now in this group. If we all stay, that's about $91 from each person. If all 11 of us are going to stick through the program, it's $91, in case anyone is wondering what that is. If it's just the 7 of us that are on here right now as we're talking, it's approximately $142 that we would be contributing towards getting the admin course, just for anyone who wanted to know. What I was saying in a sense is, with the questions, because I remember when I was studying for my power or my user, right? One thing that really helped me that I thought was so, for example, if you guys have noticed, the questions that you see in the courses is not the same type of questions you're going to see on the exam. They're not the same at all. They're very different. So I noticed that what helped me with my studying, going backwards, looking at the questions, how the questions are worded, and trying to figure out why the answer is the answer, not actually looking at the answer, I found that I learned better that way, because it was more of, if it was working backwards, but it really helped me understand certain concepts. But the course is also important because it takes you from the baby steps. That way, when you get a question, you can try to brainstorm why the answer is the answer. So I was just giving that as an option, as per if we wanted to study that way, right? We take, okay, the first 5 questions, not looking at the answer, try to figure out why the answer is the answer and learn that way. So that way, when we decide to then go do the course, it would be more of a review in a sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just thought that might, just an option if anybody wants to consider that.
Yeah, I feel like the general consensus right now, I don't know, but it feels like people want to, we want to wait a little bit to start that course, right? Is that what people think? Or I know there are other people that do not even think we should even do it.
Yeah, I would vote to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Just wait a little bit, personally.
Maybe wait a month and then we can check again in a month, right? And see where we are all at, and then decide, okay, we're ready or we're not ready. Because I'm really wondering the class is for 3 months, right? That's, to me, I feel like it's maybe not just basic stuff. Because 3 months of backend, I didn't even get that much at all. So I'm curious to see, like, I guess how much if it really does require, 3 entire months, because that just means there's so much to cover. And
what I think why it's gonna take long, Sai is taking his time. This time, the way he's doing it is like we'll do each go detail and really do, like, if we're doing a cluster, we'll take like maybe 2 weeks into that, like do step by step. And every time someone would like have to, take charge, a student would have to take charge and do the things so everybody would see we build from that, from the last time ever. So I think that's why it would be long, because we have to take he wants everybody to understand. If let's say you do how to do an index a cluster, if we complete that in the class, everybody should be able to do it, even if they're waking from their sleep. So I think that's what he's targeting.
Okay. I was thinking, because I know the front end class, there was definitely a lot to learn. Like I learned something new every single class. So I was just wondering if maybe that's the same for, because I feel like front end is a lot more harder than back end from what people said. So I just thought, okay, well, front end, I see why it took 3 months. I just wonder why back end would take just as long as well. But it makes sense what you're saying about, taking the time to make sure that we all really understand it.
But also, Abby, the admin, please correct me if I'm wrong, but is it just that first admin? Because in the Splunk, their courses, they have, I think, system admin and they have data admin. So don't you have to do both those courses for you to be able to pass the admin certification, or it's just the
I didn't take the admin yet. I kind of wanted to wait. I wanted to kind of wait a little bit before taking that. I don't know, but there are 2 types of admin. You are right. There's system admin and data admin. So if Splunk does provide both courses, I didn't really check. I just saw admin and I did $1,000 and I get the math. So if I don't know, does it say system admin and data admin for the different courses for Splunk?
I think it would be that, because it's only one admin exam that we have, and they have those 2. And the system admin is a short course. It's just general administration. Data admin is the long one.
The long one. Okay.
So I think it's both of them.
Remember checking? Have you checked the cost for the both? I'm checking right now.
The data admin is 2,000.
And then the system admin is 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. So that's 3,000. Okay, so if we do 3,000 divided by potentially 11 people, that's 272. And if it's just the 7 of us, divided by 7, yeesh, it's almost $500, or $430. Okay. Whatever you guys decide. At the end of the day, it is an investment to our lives, right? So I just would, maybe we can start with one, the cheapest one, and see if we actually finish it. That way we don't, but then Papa did say, you don't have to finish it. You would have that resource at your dispense, So realistically, nah, it's okay. I'll stop talking. It's fine.
So so apart from that, I think this is a topic that we'll revisit. So for right now, what would be the format of these meetings? We come in and then first of all, maybe just do a revision from the last class and see what we don't understand. If we can talk about that, if there are any assignments we need to talk about, and then that's when we have to again now it should be a way of revising and then try to go forward again. So we revise for the last class and prepare for the next class.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if we can then find out what he will be doing the next class, and then try to go study upon that. If we can try to, let's say, if he's launching like I was saying, he's doing next class clustering search heads. We can go and find out. A lot of things are in YouTube now. They are not they will not teach you everything, but you'd have a general understanding. We can go, do our research and come talk about it. So we'll have, questions that we can go ask him and clarify our doubts,
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. So did everyone, I know Papa took his exam. Steven, did you take yours yet for the Fundamental 2?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And does like a lot of us in the backend class, do we already have both user and power certifications, right?
No.
No, at least user, right?
No.
Okay. Also, we have people that are like just starting Splunk.
Literally, yes.
Yeah, me too. I am.
Okay. Yeah, well, for you guys, it's a little bit, you have to, yeah, for you guys, it's a little bit difficult. Of course, you have to go through again, taking the user and power exams first before you come to admin. Yeah, that's challenging a little bit, but there's nothing impossible. We can do it. It's just how much effort you want to put in.
Mhm.
If you guys are putting, if you put in the effort, I really think you'll be fine.
Mhm.
And also, like, backend is not as, again, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, backend is not that much where you should be able to, if you wanted to, put in an extra, I don't know, 2 hours a day or an extra 1 hour, 30 minutes a day towards learning like fundamental 2. If you wanted to, you definitely could. And if you need any help, again, reach out to me. I will help the best I can to help you get those certifications and the best way to study for them.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, Abby, always.
Okay, well, I have my pop quiz questions to ask, if that's okay.
You have what?
So I have my pop quiz questions. I will always have pop quizzes to see who is paying attention in class. And
Okay.
okay, so pop quiz number 1. Where do you do all of your installations? You're not allowed to answer this question, Seydou. So you're not.
Ben,
Ben, yep.
What is the command that you use for installing?
It's not BIN.
for installing what?
So if you need to install Splunk, let's say you just installed, you just downloaded Splunk, right? So first of all, first question, so the question that I think most people struggled with, it's a zip file and you need to untar it. I think that's the word.
So you use the tar xvzf splunk.tar and splunk.tgz .c into the opt directory.
So what is the command on how to do that? Like, walk me through how you would move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's tar space xvzf space splunk.tgz space .c / opt. That's
Nice.
how I did mine.
Okay, that's a new one, actually. Cool, I like that. Anybody else want another option of how you can move it to as well?
Would it be tar space dash xvzf?
Okay, so that's how you untar it, but like,
Yeah.
So the way that Papa did it, he untied it and then he kind of did it all at one time and then he moved it, right? So assuming you didn't know that you could do that, what was the other option? And Chooks, you should probably be the one answering this because that's what you did today.
Wait, so you mean
you need to untar it, right? So remember there was a thing that that Seydou showed you on first he said you needed to move it, right? So what is the command that he used to move it?
the MV.
Okay.
It's just the MV and then the Splunk name, the name of the package / OPT.
Okay, cool. All right, next pop quiz. What is the difference between // enable boot start and just / Splunk start? What's the difference between the two?
The boot start will start it automatically once you start your EC2 instance, whereas the the other option just starts it as you enter the command.
Okay,
Okay.
good job. The next question I have, someone else, not Chooks. What is the importance of status? What does that do? And what is the command to check the status of your Splunk?
Is it to check where you at, or to check if?
Yeah, can you ask that question one more time? I'm sorry.
So there was something called status, right? That means something. So explain to me, what is the purpose of checking the status of whatever you're checking, and what is the command for that?
Well, I don't know for sure if I'm referring to what you're asking, but Splunk's space status is to see if you've actually installed Splunk and see if it's in your system. Is that what you're asking for?
There is something, okay, so let's say you run this command, right? There's something that you want to see. That's how you know, okay, this is Splunk is actually working. So whenever you run the status thing, there's something that you see that tells you, okay, so when you see that particular stanza, you know, okay, this is working. What is that thing? When you type,
so the status thing is for you to see the status whether Splunk is running or not. So you do /Splunk status
Okay.
to see the status that you are in. Splunk is running, Splunk is down.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so the word I was looking for, you guys are correct. It's Splunk D. So Splunk D particularly is what I was looking for. Yeah, but yeah, okay, cool. Should I ask more questions, or are you guys good for today?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. We haven't really gone that far yet. Okay.
So another question I wanted to ask is, do all of us understand how to deal with the PEM file, or the security key when you install AWS, or when you launch AWS, right? It would give you that security key that you'd have to use to then SSH into the instance. So do we all know how to deal with that? How to maybe move it to the directory we want? How to deal with it with either Windows or Mac? We all understand that?
Good question.
Okay, so if you go to the Splunk documentation, I think there is a document there that will help us all understand it better, if we don't mind.
Can you?
Some of us are not that strong in Linux, but I mean.
Can we, if that document speaker, can you drop it in the
WhatsApp? If someone can share the screen, we can, again, walk through that, how to,
I know, because I know how to, because I was the one that walked through it in the last class where, opening the PEM file, moving it, and I understand how to move it into the directory, since I still having trouble understanding what it is. So the PEM key is just the key that allows you to use the SSH, correct?
Yeah, it's like the key that authenticates. Like you trying to get into a house and you need the key to open it.
Okay.
So yes, you're given the address to get into that instance, but you need that private key. So there is a public key already. If you do it with PuTTY, that's what you show. You have a public key. It has to match your public key and private key. So the private key is what you keep in your directory, and then use that key. You then confirm it and allow you in. If the key is wrong, you tell you don't have permission.
Okay, but basically, since once we move it to our SSH, then it's not like we have to present the key every time we open our command line, or once we connect the EC2 instance to our SSH, it automatically identifies the PEM key, correct?
It depends the kind of system you're using. let's say if it's a Windows, right? You're using PuTTY. When you save the key with PuTTY and like you add it, because with PuTTY you go and save the instance, so you just have to go and click on it and launch it. So it would not ask you for the key every time because it's saved. But like, let's say you're using the terminal for Mac, you'd have to do that SSH -I and then the name of that PEM key, and then the EC2 user and the IP address for you to get in every time. For the first time, you have to change the mode, the privilege of the key for it to work. And then anytime now, the subsequent time when you log in, you just have to go and say SSH -I, and then the name of the key. Let's say the key is test.pem, and EC2-user at your IP address, and then enter. It should then log you in.
Okay, and so that's why SAR, I think, showed us a shortcut to go. Once you go to EC2 instance in AWS, we just copied that code that it gave. Yeah. Okay. Now I understand it. Okay, thank you.
That was a good question, Sadie.
Yeah, and there is a way you can also save it with PuTTY. So if you're using a Windows and you want to, if maybe if it's not today, anytime, if anybody's using Windows, they need help with authenticating, adding that key, we can walk through that.
Yeah, I would like to see that too, because I don't know. I have a Mac, so I've always just used my terminal. But I think I definitely need to see it like over and over again to see how to use it on Windows. If anybody wants to ever volunteer, it'd be a great.
Did you guys ever did all of you? I think Sai was saying we should, even if you're using like Mac or Windows, it's good for you to know all the different ways to do the stuff, because you don't know your company or whatever, where you're working, what they're using. So you don't want to go there and say, oh no, this is what I'm used to.
Sure.
So if you're using Windows, you have both PuTTY and download the it's called ITAM or what, something. Let me see.
Mobile Extern.
Mobile Extern,
yeah.
A Mobile Extern.
That one is very easy to use, even on Windows.
Yeah,
very easy.
I like it. Yeah, Mobile Extern is easy. You can have multiple like tabs open.
Instances open, yeah.
Yeah. So I tried downloading that too, but it doesn't work for for Mac. I don't know. Mac is weird.
Maybe there should be a Mac version, maybe.
I tried, trust me. I looked. If anyone finds it, please send it to me. I've looked for so long. I couldn't find anything that I installed it, but it would tell me that my computer does not accept such things. So I don't know. I might have to just get a Windows computer just to kind of practice.
Yeah, but it's just because I think Sai is already past that point, so he will not go back unless someone has a question. So it's good whatever we're past for us to all understand that, and that's the essence of the meeting here, for us to clarify whatever we are struggling with,
Right. And everyone knows how to spin up an instance, right? They're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see
when you watch the class.
Sorry, just throw more light on that again.
On how to spin up an instance. So you know how like you kind of create an instance on AWS?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're comfortable with that? All right, cool. Okay. Well, I don't have anything else to say.
Oh, you done with the pop quizzes?
Oh, I can ask more. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let me go to my notes. See what questions I can ask that's helpful.
Let it not just be Abby. We can all, a way we can understand better again is like what we did today. We can ask it in a form of question. Well, how do we do this? We can answer. That's a way again, like just a quiz. anybody can ask, so we can just, if you know something you think you want other people to know, just ask it in the form of a question. Then if we don't know, then you help us answer it, you know?
I think Papa's gonna leave us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I have something. I need to wake up early, so, and I've had a long day, so I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Okay, no problem, Papa. Have a
So,
good one.
you
Okay.
too.
Thanks for
You
joining
too.
us.
Thank you.
So there was something that happened today when Chooks was trying to untar his file, or yeah, the install. He needed to do sudo su. What does that mean? What is the importance of that, if anybody knows?
That's to change from the permission he had. So he was in, I believe, EC2, and he was still in Splunk, and he was trying to access his personal computer. So he rejected him, saying he didn't have the permission to do that. So he had to change to root by changing the permission through sudo. Is it
Su.
su? Yeah. So that's how you change the permission.
Go sudo su. Sorry, I'm taking notes also.
Yeah, SU space DO. No, SUDO and then space SU. So that's sudo su. Okay. Let me ask a question I have a question for you, Seydou. Let me ask something.
Okay.
So, you've done a little bit of stuff on backend, right? Like you're a little bit comfortable.
Just a little bit. It's just, I mean, not much.
Okay. So the question I have for you is, how do you configure a search head to a forwarder? Just high level. If you needed to, so I come to you, I say, hey, so I'm your end client, and I say, I want a Splunk environment, but I just want a single, what's the word when you have a single, I think it's just called a standalone.
Single instance, standalone instance.
Standalone instance, right? So I just want 2 forwarders, and I want 1 search head, and I want 1 indexer, right? Oh, no, I don't want an indexer. I just want 1 search head and 1 forwarder, or 2 forwarders and 1 search head. How would you create that? Just high level using AWS.
Okay. So in the case then you were saying it would be the full instance of Splunk would be for would serve as both an indexer and a search head, because you cannot run Splunk without an indexer. You cannot say I just need a search head and then a forwarders. So it would be one instance that would have that would serve as an indexer, that will receive the logs, index it, and then you'll be able to search on it again. So if let's say I want to make it interesting, I would do spin 2 instances on 2 EC2 instances. Do one of them like launch a full instance of Splunk or install a full instance of Splunk in it, and the other one just install UF on it, and I will do another UF, which is
UF. For some of us that don't know what you mean, what do you mean by?
Yeah, a universal forwarder.
Okay.
Yeah, universal forwarder, which is just a lightweight instance of Splunk. It's not the full instance. It's just all it does is just collects data and forward it to Splunk. So yeah, so I would launch 2 instances. One of them I would install a full instance of Splunk that can do everything, pass, index data, and then you can be able to search the data on that instance. And I would do another one, which is just the UF, that is just all it does is just collect the logs or whatever I want to monitor, collect that and send it to where I want. And I will do another one on my Windows computer and just install that as a forwarder locally on my computer, then I would ask that to, collect data on that computer and forward it again to my instance. So on the forwarders, so first of all, on my full EC2 instance, I would enable that to receive logs from my forwarders or whatever instance. So to enable that, you want to just enable listening on it. So you enable port 9997. So, and then that you go to settings, then go to forwarding and receiving, and under receiving, you enter 9997, add new receiving, and then 9997. So that way you're telling it to listen to whatever traffic that is coming in. And then on the already here, I'm not going through the steps of like installing Splunk. It's just high level. So we know how to install Splunk and the forwarders on these different instances. So on the two forwarders, I already have Splunk running on them. What I do is, and then now tell it to forward logs to my EC2 instance that is having the full instance of Splunk. And the way I do that, I go again to settings. Or here, because the forwarder is something that is not, it does not have a UI, it does not have a GUI, a graphical user interface. So the only way we can access a forwarder is through going backend, is to SSH into the instance. So what I do first of all is go and under the output.conf and tell it to send logs to my my instance that I've already set up to listen. And the way I do that, and go and create a stanza under the output.conf file, and then tell it, put in there the IP address of my instance that I want it to send to, and then save it. And again, enable on the same forwarder, enable it to.
Question: did you, when you added the IP address to the when you added the IP address of your search head / indexer to your forwarder, so you said you added the IP address and then you save it. Was there anything else that you put after the IP address, or was it just the IP address?
No, it's not just the IP address. So you put the IP address colon the ports that you wanted to send to 9997.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Sorry, yeah, I missed that part. Yep, and the ports that you wanted to send to, and then you still enable now, because you've enabled on the forwarder for it to send logs. So you have to now tell it to then receive log, where it has to go look for those logs. So that you have to then enable that on the input.conf. You go to system local, and then input.conf, and then go again. Let's say you want to monitor like a directory. You just go to that directory. You like you create, like, tell it, just put the path to that directory. Let's say you want to monitor downloads or the var directory or whatever directory, give the path to that and save it there. So you would look for anything that comes into that directory and then send it through to output.conf. Output.conf know already what it's listening for logs from that UF. So we would then send it to my search/head / indexer. And that will be the same for the other instance that is on AWS, that is also UF. It's the same. You just go configure the output.conf and input.conf. Yeah, and that's the way. I mean, high level, I think.
Yeah, that was thorough. That was good. So I have a question that I think Sar has probably talked about in class.
Good job, Saida. Good job. That was deep.
That was deep. Anyone that wants to answer? I know UC can't answer this, but everybody else should be able to answer this. apart from Seydu. So that leaves Chooks and Stephen. What is the difference between a heavy forwarder and a universal forwarder?
The universal forwarder. I think the universal forwarder just automatically, forwards information to the server.
What do you mean server? So we're gonna start talking literal terms. So what does a universal forwarder send? Where does it send logs to?
To the what's the correct term?
That main thing, remember that thing that it starts with an I?
The index, yeah.
Indexer.
Indexer.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the universal one automatically forwards. The universal forwarder automatically sends the information to the data to the indexer. And what was the other one? The
heavy forwarder.
Heavy forwarder.
Did Star talk about that?
He hasn't talked about it.
I think so. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Has he? Well, I should remember it from fundamentals 1. I know 1 like automatically will just keep forwarding the information to the indexer. I'm just forgetting what the other one does.
Okay, Stephen, do you want to help him out?
Yeah, I can help out.
Okay, go ahead.
So both of them practically does the same thing, from what I understood. The only difference is that the universal forwarder doesn't have the capabilities to pass data on the events, but the heavy forwarder does. So the heavy forwarder is more of the big guy, so it does all the hard passing. And I think what really stands out more is the heavy forwarder has the GUI, and the heavy forwarder can receive configuration for parsing.
Not bad. Seydu, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think, Stephen, that was really good. Yeah, the difference is that they have the heavy forwarder. The biggest difference is the heavy forwarder is a full instance of Splunk, whilst the UF is just a lightweight instance. So they're different. That's the difference. The heavy forwarder is like any other Splunk instance. You're just configuring it to act as a forwarder. So that's the thing. The only packages that Splunk has are 2. That is the UF and the enterprise, Splunk enterprise, or either if you're using Splunk cloud, that is a different case. But we're talking about the Splunk enterprise. So it's either you use a universal forwarder or a full instance of Splunk. So the full instance of Splunk, you can configure it to do whatever you want. You can configure it to be an indexer, a search head, heavy forwarder, whatever. So it's just the configurations that changes. So with heavy forwarder, because it is a full instance of Splunk, you can be able to use the graphical user interface. You have access to the web for it. It also, like Stephen says, it passes the data before it can pass the data, so it reduces the load on the indexer, and it can also store data. So it does some work before it sends the information to the indexer. And it also, what am I
Can you explain a little bit for some of us that don't know? What do you mean by parsing? What does that mean? When you say it parses, the heavy forwarder parses data, what does that mean? What is parsing?
Okay, so what do we mean by parsing? Maybe I've just been using parsing. So parsing is, I think, from my understanding, is breaking down. It's breaking down the data into like smaller chunks and making it, because the data that is coming in is just all kinds. Sometimes it is not structured. You can have any kind of data to Splunk, structured, unstructured. It doesn't even know the different timestamps, and also what the parsing is. It tries to break it down and give it different timestamps, and and make it like readable. So when the next step is then indexing the data. So when it is passed already, when it's readable by Splunk, and then the indexer will just then put it into different directories. That is the indexing. To put it into directories according to time that would then be searchable. So parsing is then making it, putting it into like a form that is easily accessed and then stored in the index. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's my understanding. I just say parsing all the time.
Okay. So
Again, every forwarder could also serve as, it could also receive data. You can send data from the UF to the heavy forwarder. It can be an like intermediary. A lot of companies do that. They send data from the UFs, they come to the heavy forwarder, and then it goes through parsing and then goes to now the indexer.
Okay. Cool. So here are the few things I would add just to what you guys have said. So for the UF, you don't really need a license. The HF, you need a license. That's one. The other thing is with the UF, it has an input.conf and an output.conf. The HF has an output.conf, an input.conf, a props.conf, and a transform.conf. So the difference between what when I say props.conf and transform.conf, all that pretty much means high level is just like parsing. And when I say parsing, it just means that it filters your data. So by filtering, so for example, right, let's say Saidu is the owner of a company. Let's say Saidu is the CEO for, I don't know, Macy's, right? And all of you guys are the Splunk guys. So now they have all of this data and they want you to help them understand it, right? When you use a universal forwarder, let's just say all you need is 10,000 events, for example, right? 10,000 specific events, and then they give you 100,000 events. If you use a universal forwarder, the universal forwarder will literally just send all 100,000 events because it doesn't know how to take out, it doesn't have the ability to filter out what you need and what you don't need, right? When you use a heavy forwarder, then you can have all 10,000 events, and then you can kind of figure out, okay, I need this amount, so I can go ahead and send this. I don't need the rest of this. So in a sense, you kind of save in the sense of where you don't what's the word? You don't forward all the different logs that you don't particularly need, if that makes any sense. So parsing, line breaking, merging, those are pretty much just you filtering data. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is like perfect. Abby the boss.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. If there's anything else I will add, does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, you explaining what it does there. Yep.
The other thing I will add is, let me see what else I have written here that might be helpful. Yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, I think if you get that concept, everything else kind of makes a little bit more sense. Another thing that I heard someone tell me, again, I don't know, I've never worked as a backend person, so I can't say much, is sometimes like they've used like a heavy forwarder. So when you're dealing, let's say you're working for a company where you're dealing with like people's like social security numbers, for example, you're able to, in a sense, and I know you can do this, and Saidu, this is where you're the expert. I know you can do this in props.conf. I think that's what it is, where you can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can mask. You can also kind of do that also like with your heavy folder, which is the same thing as like us, where, so let's say if you're dealing with people's like social security number, for example. So there are cases where they might use a syslog to pass that, depending on where the data is coming from. Send it to the heavy folder. You can mask it in there. You can kind of filter it where you only have to see the last the last four social security numbers, and you're good. So an example. So that's it. All right. We are at I know we said 8 o'clock, but I think we've covered a lot. If you guys want to call it a day.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, so for next class, I don't know. So what I think we'll do is let's wait for class tomorrow. That's why we have the group. We can discuss before the class what we should talk about, what we should do. because I know after class tomorrow we have things that we need to maybe revise for our next class. But also, let's not just keep it that. Let's try to move. Let's be proactive. Go ahead of SAR so that we can be able to go to class and be confident to ask questions. So for next class, we'll try after SAR's class tomorrow. We'll try to know what he's doing next, and then try to give a task for us to go find out and research on that, so we can come and talk about it on Wednesday. Okay.
Just let me know whatever it is he says, and I will do it since I'm not really in the class. So.
Okay. No problem. Yeah.
Ask him about the IOI thing. If you, yeah, the IOI weight thing. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I'm curious to know the cause of what it means.
Okay. Does Stephen, did you get that error also?
Yeah. So I had 4 errors, but after I did the one she showed us, like the 3 other ones just instantly went away.
Okay, well, we can show him your instance on and then he can look at it and see.
Yeah. AB the Splunker.
Yeah, AB is the go-to.
Coming to the studios near you, man.
Wow.
No, AB, I'm telling you, I really admire you. Just no one can believe that you've only been doing not just Splunk, you've been doing IT for just how many months now? How many months? Just since January, you said, right?
Yeah, January ending.
Just imagine, so you are incredible, really smart.
You make me cry.
Oh.
Okay, this was fun. So I guess next class, just let me know whatever is said in the group, and then let me know what we need to study, and I will try and study as well, and then we can help each other out and learn and stuff.
Okay. So is your husband not joining us?
He was here. My husband was in the study group right now. He was the one that was saying everyone is going to be on different levels.
Oh, okay. I was looking for Mark. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, he goes by Chiku or Mark. Yeah, so I think he logged in with his iPhone.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah. But he's also a good resource. He just had really bad service. So if you guys ever have questions, he knows way more than I know.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what I want. Remember, I mean, you guys told me already. He's the guru. So we want to have him.
He knows. I don't know if he's a guru, but he knows more than I know. So I take my questions to him whenever I'm I don't understand something. So, and he's a good resource. If he doesn't know it, he knows how to find a video or something that will, help you out with this. So I would definitely say you guys leverage him as much as you can.
Okay.
Well.
All right, guys, you had. Please, if you don't forget to send that video, please.
Yes, can we do that right now? If you want, stop recording, and then we could do it right now. You guys can walk me through it, because this is where my not being an IT person gets exposed. I tried figuring it out, and I couldn't figure it out. So if you stop recording, I could